Ryan's Rec Center, it is open for business, and today it's all about the footwork because feet, as we know, when it comes to defensive positioning, they are absolutely critical. Now, there's somewhat of a difference between the infield and the outfield, but at the end of the day, when the dust settles, it's all the same. Now, we're going to start in the infield, and we're going to put that spotlight on O'Neal Cruz from last night because if your feet aren't sharp, well, at 6'7", you will definitely know, and he was looking sharp last night.
Well, he is 6'7", and he is smooth over there at shortstop. You talk about those feet and how he moves them. Contreras hits this ground ball in the back, takes a backhand and throws it to first base. We talk about how he moves, though. Just look how smooth he is coming through, gathering himself, going through the ball. What I want to tell the young players is you see how he comes through the baseball. You see him, when you're in the infield, it's a little bit more of a short arm. In the outfield, you can get a little bit more long-armed into it, I want to say. But when he comes back through it, he plants that front side. He has it pointed towards, if I'm doing it from the left side, so first base over there.
Sure.
And he points that shoulder going towards the base, and then he comes through. He gathers himself. He knows that his arm is so strong, 96.7 miles per hour over to first base. So he knows that he can gather himself, take that little boom, and throw it over to first. And most importantly, when you throw it to first base as an infielder or an outfielder, throw four seams. You do not want to be throwing cutters at 97 over to their first baseman. He is not going to appreciate that.
And we saw him gather and shuffle and then shuffle again. But if you don't have an arm like O'Neal Cruz, how important is it to get that first shuffle in and get rid of the ball, especially by determining who that base runner is?
Absolutely. And what I talk about that front shoulder pointing towards the base, a lot of young kids, they want to go like this and turn. And what does that do? It takes the velocity off and it changes the angle of the ball. So he's coming down and through, firing it through and staying through the baseball, staying through, going through to first base.
Okay, yeah, we're not trying to cast and catch fish. We're trying to go over the top and catch base runners. So let's make the shift and talk about what defensive positioning when it comes to footwork is like from your forte as an outfielder, because I know that's your bread and butter, man.
Yeah, so I know a little bit more about the outfield.
You didn't play shortstop as a left-handed?
No, I did not. When I was 12, I did, but not anytime recently.
Okay,
But you go to the outfield. You're always taught, you see Ortega here coming through this baseball, you're always taught to keep it on the outside part of your foot. But look, when stuff's going fast, you're not able to do that. You see him coming through the baseball here, getting a little bit more behind it and being able to throw. One thing I want to point out, too, is when you're an outfielder, do not throw it over you always want to try to hit the cutoff man and stay through the baseball. But we see here what I'm talking about, not same foot. He's coming through like this, comes through the baseball, ends up getting that arm long, coming through it, and going and staying through the baseball again, throwing that four seams. Ortega does a great job of it right here. And in the outfield, you have a little bit more time to kind of take your angle. In the infield, you know, he kind of you just go right here and boom. In the outfield, you can get your body into it a little bit more. So that's what's even more impressive for Cruz to be able to throw as hard as he did, that he's not really crow hopping like you do in the outfield.
Sure.
One other thing, to get arm strength, whether it's in the infield or the outfield, the main thing is long toss. Long tossing, you can build up that arm strength. It doesn't matter where you do it in a field somewhere, but also not lollipopping.
No.
You want to throw it straight on the line. And even if one bounces, you want to get that trajectory going straight and staying through the baseball in the infield and in the outfield.
Yeah, and like you said, you don't want to always throw that ball over the cutoff man. You want to make sure you throw that ball right through him, and he can make the decision. If he wants to cut it off and then go to any other base, he can. But if he knows it's a strong enough throw, he can pull the glove away and ride that and let it go where it's going.
Exactly, and that's the difference between the infield and the outfield. The outfielders have that option to, you want to get it to the infield as quickly as possible and make them make that decision. So that's why Ortega did a good job right there. Even though it took a few bounces to get there, you'd rather have it do that than airmail it over their head. But Cruz over there at shortstop, this is a bright future for this kid. You don't usually see a guy, like we said, that's 6'7", over there at shortstop. But staying through the baseball and knowing and trusting your arm, if you have it, you can get him out at first.